Hey, LeSean, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep, I
All
hear you.
right, great. You ready to get started?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming out. We have Tampa Bay running back LeSean McCoy with us today. A reminder to all media, in order to be considered for a question, we ask that you have both your full name and affiliation in your Zoom name to be considered. All right, to begin, we will go with Pat Principe with WGAL TV.
Shady, what's up, buddy?
How you doing? What's up?
Doing good, except we had a foot of snow, so, I'm not digging that, but hey, you know,
All my family back home, they said there's so much snow.
there is way too much. You're in a good place, buddy. You're in a good place where you are right now. Hey, I got to ask you, you've done quite a bit in your career. Where does getting the opportunity to be part of a Super Bowl team 2 years in a row rank for you right
Well, first of all, I gotta let you know that I'm the rabbit's foot. You know what I'm saying? When I go to a team, they make it happen. No, just I don't know. I think I just look at just the teams. I mean, Kansas City last year, they were a great team as far as just every level from the offense, defense, special teams. They were coached very, very well. I think you have a good defense, coached well with a quarterback and talent around. I think that's the pedigree of winning. You look at our team now, we have the same thing. Tons of playmakers, have a quarterback, great defense, well coached, good head coach, and you put the players on offense and around with each other. We make things happen.
Our next question will be from Paul Domowich.
Paul Donald. Hey, Paul.
Long time no talk to
How
you.
about to say that right? It's been a while, huh?
Congratulations on making it back to this game the second year in a row. Have you made any decisions beyond Sunday as far as your life?
I mean, I always think about this all the time, especially now, just how my career has been, from like being a guy and a franchise player to now being older and asked to do different things for my role. But then you look at the winning. If I could help the young guys out and we're winning and I'm back in a championship game, Super Bowl, things like that, it make it hard to make that decision, to call it quits. So I always ask myself that. And then this other part was like, all right, I'm sure I can go to any team, be the second or third down running back. I could beat them guys out, be the third back. I mean, I think about that, playing longer. It's a hard question. I talked to Frank Gore a lot. He's one of my guys who I talked about different things like that. So it's up in the air. I mean, if I get 2 championships, I mean, with all my resume and that, it might be over, but you never know. So I think I'll just take it every day, and I'll kind of revisit that when the time presents itself.
Our next question will be from Jaron May.
Hey, LeSean, how you doing today?
What's up? I'm doing good. I'm looking good in this white. Feeling good. Had a walk today.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're rocking it.
Not bad.
All right. So I want to take you back to your college days real quick. I work for Syracuse University.
Syracuse.
Yeah, there you go. So number one, my question is, and it's kind of a two-parter. First one is, what kind of memories do you have playing against Syracuse? Because you had 2 really good performances against them. And then the second part to it is, what kind of memories and where would you rank playing in the Carrier Dome in all the different venues that you've played throughout your career?
I'll answer the second one first. It was actually in the Carrier Dome. It was actually pretty cool. It gets loud. Just kind of the atmosphere. It takes you into like a different environment. Fans are loud and there's a lot of space. And one thing about the Syracuse, what people don't know, I mean, despite like the records or not having as many good years as they had in the past, they always play physical. They always had NFL players. I mean, I remember playing them guys. They had about 3, 4, 5, draft picks that year. I only had 2 years at Pitt. But the time I was there, they were loaded. Actually, Arthur Jones, we always, make jokes about how they always had some good players, but they couldn't win. So that's probably one of the toughest teams, I would say, in the Big East when I was there, despite the records, but just the physical talent and the NFL prospects they had, they were pretty tough.
Our next question will be from Courtney Smith.
Hi, LeSean.
Hi, Courtney.
So I know this summer we've had these Black Lives Matter protests,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of music that came out this summer, but all through history, there's always been protest songs. I was wondering if there's any artist or any songs in particular that really motivated you during that time. It can be throwback songs, it could be current songs, or if there's anything that you and your teammates or your friends were listening to then that just really helped push y'all and help spark this movement even more.
I think just bigger than just the songs. A lot of my teammates, black and white, we always talked about how like a lot of people are stepping out and protesting. A lot of people are making light of it, more awareness. It really kind of stuck to us just how many entertainers, how many ball players. You know, it's rare that everybody comes together, in a peaceful way, to make a statement. And I think the biggest thing that touched us, because there's times we've been in the locker room talking about it. Like, not only are these things wrong, that what they're doing to us, but it was great to see how everybody came together to rally together, to speak out, making plans. How can we affect the communities? How can we make our environments better? What messages can we get to the people to show more awareness? That's probably the biggest songs I could think of. And something I could teach my son, like, hey, when there's something not going right, things are wrong, these are the ways that you protest in peace. And that was pretty cool to see. It really was.
Our next question will be from Zach Berman.
Hey, LeSean, if you think back to the summer when you were picking where to go, how close was that decision between the Bucs and the Eagles, and what swayed it one way or the other?
I mean, Eagles is always something special to me. Just like my roots is there. It's kind of like the hometown and all my family. A lot of my friends are still there. Mr. Laurie and Howie, all them guys are special to me. I think like your first team, I was the first team. I was like the franchise guy from the Buffalo. So I was always open to going there. I remember my last couple of years in Buffalo when I wasn't sure if we were rebuilding or not, and it seemed like it. And I remember trying to get traded back there. And the Bills, they didn't trade me. They wouldn't trade me, but there was a lot of talk about it. So this year, I had a lot of talks with the Eagles, and it was close. My heart belongs there, so it definitely was close. And they were kind of hesitant, not as bringing me back, but just the timing. And I was like, do I go back home? Do I wait a little bit, go back home, or do I go now with the Bucs? Because the Bucs, they're putting all their pieces together. They need a veteran in the room. They need a guy that they can count on. So I was like, do I take the deal now with Bucs? Because they weren't going to wait too long. And I figured it'd be their best move. Knowing Tom Brady, being really tight with Gronk, and all the guys they have. I mean, from Mike to Chris, knowing that defense, being with Todd Bowles in the past, knowing what type of defensive coach he is, it just made sense. I thought that was my best chance to get a Super Bowl. When I retire, I would definitely want to retire Eagle. I'm the all-time leading franchise rusher over there. 25 hasn't touched the field since I left, that jersey number. So that's always like a dream. And that was tough for me, but I think the Bucs was the best decision. And BA actually being a Pennsylvania guy, growing up in York. So it just made sense. It was the right timing.
We'll go to Joey Knight.
Shady, correct me if I'm wrong. It seems like you've kind of embraced the role of being the elder statesman and the mentor in the room. Is that something that you kind of took on begrudgingly at first, or did you like it? Were you a natural at it?
Well, I kind of grew into it in Kansas City. I started out, learning the offense, and then I eventually became the starter. I got kind of banged up. I missed a game or so, and then the backup running back started playing well. Williams took off, so they decided to go with the younger guy. So that was tough at first, But over there, it's like you got to check your ego. I mean, they have so many good offensive players. So that kind of was like the stepping stone. So then I was like, okay, well, if I'm not starting, I'm not playing. How can I affect the game? And the best way I could do that was help the guys, from my experience, knowing where the reads should go, where the ball should go, how to become a better player. And I put that in me into them. Then as I got here, my role was different. In the beginning, I was going to be the backup guy, do the passing, third downs, and be the backup to Rojo. And then before that got released, and he came here, and then I knew kind of the writing on the wall. We pay him the big bucks. He's a big name. He's young. He's still very, very talented. And then he started playing, and my role changed. And me just being a veteran, man, like at this point, I want to win. I mean, everybody knows the things I've done, and I want to be able to still affect the game. And they look at me now as like insurance. If one of the guys gets banged up or they need a blow, they can count on me to go in there and to, replace them and not miss a beat, and that's cool with me because I love them guys, man. It was like they always give me all these stories about how they've been playing the video game with me when they were in high school and watching my tapes and the highlights. So it all works together, and I get joy out of that. I get joy out of helping them out, so the role has changed for me, but the goal hasn't. The goal is to win a championship. I want to be part of that. And any way I can affect the game, by helping the guys in my room. There's time for time they'll come to me to get the guys, teach them this or help them understand that. And I do it with no hesitation, and that's the role. And I accept it. And I know like a lot of teams, if I don't sign back here or if I continue to play, I know teams will want that, a guy in the dressing room to help me out. I think that when I was the guy, I wish I had that. I had Brian Westbrook, but he was hurt and he left the next year. So I never really had a veteran guy to teach me. It was always learning to run, so it's okay.
Our next question will be from Dave Burkett.
Hey, LeSean, appreciate your time. I'm coming to you from up here in Detroit, where Anthony Lynn is the new offensive coordinator.
They got two of my guys up there, yeah.
Yeah. Well, in particular, I was hoping you could shed a little bit of light on, what Anthony's going to be like as a play caller, what to expect from his offense, and then you obviously had a really good year. I think you guys led the NFL in rushing the 1 year he was calling plays.
That's right.
What he meant to you at that stage of your career too.
Oh, I love Coach Lynn. I really do. He's the type of guy that he's going to teach discipline. The guys will be very, very disciplined. They won't make a lot of mistakes. They'll be mentally sharp. I think they will run the ball very well. He's very creative, getting the ball in space. They have a really, really good running back there now with Swift, who I'm a big fan of. They'll get him the ball in the perimeter, mix it up inside, outside. They'll do a lot of different things. I think that from what they did in the past, I think their offense will be pretty good. I really do. And also, Deuce Staley's there too, right? Is that correct? Deuce Staley is over there. Is that correct?
His line is muted, but we can double check.
But I think Deuce is there. I think Deuce is there also, and he'll demand a lot of respect from his running backs, and he's one of the only coaches I've ever had that got the best out of me. And I think this mixture of Coach Lynn and Deuce. I'm gonna do some damage. I'm excited for him. I really am. I'm gonna text him later on just to congratulate him. I've been busy, but I like the mixture of them guys together.
We'll go to Andrew Gamble.
Hi, LeSean, man. I hope you and your family are doing well, and congratulations on making it to the Super Bowl, man.
Thank you.
There have been comparisons between Tom Brady and LeBron James because they're both sort of serial winners. With all the quality veterans on your roster that have all come together and played their role during this run, do you see any similarities between this Bucs roster and the Lakers team that won last season?
I guess you could see some similarities. I mean, you can compare this to Brady. He's an old guy, and LeBron's old, but they're beast. He finds ways to win. LeBron the same way. I think that they both kind of motivate the team. And I think with great leaders, they're measured by, how you get your role players, to step up and make plays. That's a big comparison. I think them two very, very similar. And then just dealing with the situation, right? With the COVID, guys being accountable, being safe, not messing around, hanging out and or jeopardizing the guy next to you. Because if I have it, from hanging out and I bring it to my teammate, then he's out. We've been one of the better teams this year. Now, I seen LeBron James talking about that, how it was a tough year just based on that, guys being in the bubble and still trying to compete at a high level, So I see some similarities between the teams. I think we both were on the spot where people didn't think we would get there. I remember before they were saying the same thing about the Lakers, despite, getting him and AD. So then having some veteran guys in there helping out the same way we have here, so I see some similarities.
Our next question will be from Chris Emma.
LeSean, you were with Coach Reid at the beginning of your career. You were with him last year in Kansas City. What's allowed him to stay on the cutting edge offensively in terms of scheme and playbook, and just kind of what are your observations of the way he's done it?
Well, he loves cheeseburgers. That's something that has never changed. But no, he's the same. The difference is, I think, from when I had him when I was a 20-year-old kid to last year, is he actually calls the plays. He didn't call the plays when I was there the first time around. He's changed, and also his personality. He's always been like cool, which the media doesn't see, but he's getting involved with the young guys. The young guys has their personalities, and he's dancing now, he's joking, he's wearing Air Force Ones. That's never been Andy Reid, and he's still the same as far as drafting. He's always drafted good and got the players he needs to make plays. Talk about Mahomes and all the guys they have over there. Most of them guys were drafted there. He's still offense first type of team. They kind of go as the offense goes. And he's doing a great job. I'm so happy for Coach Reid. He's one of my favorites for sure. Now hopefully they don't win. It's coming Sunday. But all the wishes to him and his family. I love his wife and his kids. So he has a special place for me in my heart, for sure.
Our next question will be from Joel D. Smith.
Hey, Shady, I'm from the CBS affiliate in Harrisburg. Everybody's rooting for you here still.
HBG, baby.
Hey, now you're talking about being a veteran and a guy who gives out some advice. Here's a tricky one for you. What advice would you give to your own self back at McDevitt?
As a young LeSean McCoy, I would tell him, to be humble, be more humble, and cherish every moment that you have. Be more of a leader, work a little bit harder, because there's guys that you don't know about that's working hard, that don't have the exposure. I would tell LeSean to love the game all the time, no matter up and downs. I would tell LeSean to finally work extremely hard, no matter how much success you have, how good you are. Work even harder. Those are things I would probably give to him. Other than that, I did pretty good. But the other parts and things I said, I would tell him that. Hopefully he would listen.
We'll go over to DJ Siddiqui.
Hey, LeSean, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi. So you played a lot of years in Philly, man, and you were one of the best, obviously, but you guys never came close to a Super Bowl.
Mm-mm.
And here you are, Kansas City last year. You win a Super Bowl, signing with them late in the offseason. You signed with Tampa Bay late in the offseason this time around. You're on the verge of potentially winning another one. Can you kind of explain this feeling? Is it a little bit surreal?
It's definitely so crazy, man. Just going back to back. When I got let go from Buffalo, I had so many teams reaching out to me. And I was like, man, at this point, do I chase the money or I chase winning? And I want to win. And that was one of the biggest reasons why I went to Kansas City, from the winning aspect and the coach. This year, after getting the Super Bowl, I was asking myself, am I done? Do I still want to play? The hunger's still there. I want to compete. And when Tampa Bay called and they started signing these players, a lot of other teams that I had waiting on me, it didn't make sense. Where Tampa Bay made sense from the moves they made, the coaches they had. I said, I'm going there. And now the ultimate goal was to win a championship. Now that is reality, So as I sit back and think about my decision making, it really worked out. The way we planned it is actually how I was going. So that was kind of pretty cool.
We'll go to Kenny Morales.
Hey, what's up, LeSean?
How you doing?
Good, good. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Hey, a quick question for you. I know you played under a bunch of different coaching staffs throughout your career. The Bucs, they made headlines for these past 2 years, just having one of the most diverse staffs in all of football. I think the first NFL team to make the Super Bowl with 3 black coaches at the main coordinator positions. What's it been like for you as a guy that's played under so many different staffs to play under a staff this diverse? I know Bruce said it's been very beneficial in terms of teaching players. I wonder what it's like for the players to learn from such, different outputs.
It really is. It makes you more comfortable. But I've been blessed because in Philadelphia, Andy Reid's like that. Very diverse. Even now with the Chiefs, they have some coordinators and some coaches. It's mixed up a little bit, diverse. But it makes you comfortable. It really does, man. Like, sometimes when everything's going on, especially in the world right now, and only so many tragic incidents that's going on, to have a black or white coach where we can sit down and talk to them, how they see it, how we see it, to kind of get a common understanding. And I think when you share a brotherhood with coaches and players, it's better when you can talk about it and the other person's not judgmental and can understand. So a lot of things what Coach Ayers was talking about as far as the teaching part of it, I think that really shows the tremendous growth we have here, where we can ask our coach if he's black or white, because it's more comfortable for the players. And then also, man, like, I remember like sometimes when I was a young rookie, you didn't really see a lot of black coaches in power as far as the head coach or the coordinators. Most of the coaches were white that had them jobs. Now, guys that play football that want to become a head coach one day or office coordinator, it's reality. I mean, because you see it. You're there every day, and you see you being there. Left coach, left coach. You see him in there, and Ty Bowles. So it makes things surreal. It makes things, feel like there's a chance.
Our next question will be from Eric Wilson.
Shady, what's going on? Shout out to the 717-223, man. How are you?
That's right, 717, baby. How you doing?
I'm all right. Man, so you said a lot earlier. Deuce Staley, Brian Westbrook, LeSean McCoy. When you think of running backs, especially in Philly, those are the 3 names that come to mind. But talk to me about your journey, man, because now you are here, and it just seems like for everything that could have, should have, would have happened in Philadelphia is now happening for you, both in Kansas City and now in Tampa Bay.
Yeah. I mean, it's different. I do wish that if I could have had a championship, I wish it had been when I was an Eagle. I started there, and it means more to me as far as like my hometown being an hour away, being drafted there. A lot of my friends when I got in the league are still my friends. To have to share that with them, with the differences like I built in a bond here and last year with new guys. Now I knew a lot of them dudes from like commercials and like Pro Bowls, but it's a difference. It's definitely a difference. But also I look at my career and I feel like I sacrificed so much when I was the guy and I was rolling, and I didn't get them accolades. I didn't get them the championships, like I wanted to. And I feel like now it's paying off. Like you did all the hard work then, now you're starting to receive the rewards. And that's how I really look at it. So when I'm done, I have 2 rings on my finger, man. I can look back at the things I did to get here. And that's how I play it out in my mind.
We'll go to Martin Frank.
Hey, LeSean, how's it going?
How you doing? It's going good so far.
All right. Hey, I wanted to ask you another Eagles-related question. I know, Miles Sanders obviously has spoken pretty highly of you, saying you're one of the guys, he's always looked up to and everything. And I was just wondering how aware you are of him and what he's doing and where do you see his future going? Thanks.
I think he'll be the next franchise back for the Eagles. I really do. I think Miles is really, really good. People try to compare us. I think we're a lot different. He's a lot faster than I was. I think when I watch him play, I think he's a lot faster than I was at my top speed. I think he has a nice size. I think he's bigger than what people give him credit for, and he runs a lot tougher than what people give him credit for. I watched the growth from last year to this year. He's actually become a better blocker, and he's becoming more of a complete running back, 3-down back. So I look forward to him taking over the franchise, and I look forward to him being a guy in Philly. I think whatever how they sort out the quarterback situation, it looks like it's still going to be Wentz, but I think that he'll be a big help. If they can kind of go through him and let him lead. He has a big upside. I really do. Bright career ahead of him.
We have time for a couple more. We'll go to Blair Toadette.
Hi. So you've talked about the diversity and the coaching staff already a little bit, but I wanted to ask what it's been like to have women in the coaching staff, because that is also really rare. You've never seen 2 women on a coaching staff, especially that's going to a Super Bowl. So how, as a player, has that influenced you? And then also, you have the nickname Shady. You've had that for a long time. Do you feel like that still applies? How do you feel about it?
No. This Shady nickname is way gone. Just people call me that just because it's the name that they know of. But nah, I'm way different. It started when I was a baby. My mom said I was always shady, so I just carried over to like friends, teachers, that type of thing, coaches. And then just having females, I think, in the building, because like they may chase dreams when they were kids to be a coach or play football, and they're living it out. And I think it's so cool and unique that the NFL is giving the opportunity. They're very good, very successful so far, and I've been used to it because in Buffalo, we had the female part of the game where they were becoming coaches. And they're damn good. I think the one thing about having a female coaches around, the narrative is okay, they're letting females do it. But in the females' minds, like, all right, I gotta prove that I belong. So they train extra hard. They're doing the overtime, and it makes their craft better. So not only are they allowing females to be coaches, but they're qualified. And they're doing a great job. So I'm all for it, man. I think it's really good for our league.
We'll go to Alex Secchia.
Hey, Shady, can you hear me?
I can hear you clear.
How you doing, man? So yesterday Patrick was asked about how he compares himself to Tom Brady being the young GOAT and Tom Brady being the older GOAT, and you being on both sides of the field with these guys playing on Kansas City last year and Tampa Bay this year, as a standing outside the source looking in. Well, how would you compare Patrick Mahomes to Tom Brady?
I'm a huge Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan fan, and that's the best way I can look at it. You look at a guy like Brady, who's like Jordan, established, older. He don't air Jordan dunk no more, but he's beating with the fadeaway. I think of Pat as the young Kobe. Like, he's coming. The league's aware of him, making plays. They're so similar, but they're so different. They both are competitive, extremely competitive. They always want to win at any cost. I think that they have that superstar quality to them. I think this Pat's younger. I think Brady's older. He's more established, so successful. I think Pat is chasing that. I think he's on the verge of being the next Brady. And I love to watch them lead. They lead differently, but they all have this ultimate same goal. They want to win. I watched games where we won the game, but maybe Tom didn't play well, right? He's happy, but he's also mad inside. I watched the same thing with Mahomes. We won the game, he didn't play well. He's like, I can't wait to get another shot next week to get better. And they have that. They really do. And it's funny watching it. It's funny watching it. I think they both are a lot cooler than what people think. They both got style to them. They like different music. They dance a little bit. They joke. And I think that's a blessing that I got to see 2 greats, one older, one younger, and then the way they perfect their game and the way they approach this game. People ask me all the time. I keep it short with them, but in my head, I see so many comparisons, and then I see so many things that they really share together, but also they compete differently, but kind of the same type of goals. So I think I'm blessed to see that, man. I really am. Like, 10 years or something, I'll be saying how, Pat's like the new Brady.
All right, that's all we have time for today. We appreciate you taking the time, LeSean.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I take this test. Hey, take this picture from real quick. What's that? Take this picture from real quick. Look good in white shit. Mm-hmm.
Want me to take it?
You take this. You take this.
Right?
This. Let me take the screen.
Like this?
Yeah. Let's take this.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
But I was talking about the screen. Like this right here.
Oh, you want me to take the screen? I got you. My white light's not that great, but
You turn around though. Yeah. Oh, my bad.
well, if I turn around, don't want it like make the L. Well, it's already backwards, right? Because you're looking at a mirror image.
Like that.
Yeah. There you go.